flowing.
Wow. That is a trailer by our guest this morning. But right before I get into it, we have a ton of creatives out there. Let me read some feedback from one of the creatives who's one of our anchors. Thank you, God, I have not missed this conversation. Too much information around COVID and COVID vaccine has led to very many people not to get vaccinated. For example, how does me getting the jab protect another person from getting COVID? How is it a protective measure, yet you can still be infected? That is Mtoto wa Mariam letting us know on some of the questions, or rather frequently asked questions in regards to vaccination, but Daktari answered us. In line with creatives, I'm sure the creatives out there went through a lot of problems trying to navigate into the system through COVID. You know, you want to have your shows back. You want to continue hosting if you are a host. You want to continue running events if you're an event planner. You want to be able to shoot movies if you are in production. We all wanted to be able to continue with our lives as usual in the creative space. With me, I have Rispa Wamboi. Who is Rispa Wamboi? She is about to tell us who she is. But she's a creative. No, we'll not call her a jack of all trades. Let's call her a Jane of all trades. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Fine, thank you.
How are you feeling this morning?
Good.
You're good?
Yeah.
It's good to see you.
Good to see you too.
How has your week been?
Ups and downs, but quite good.
Quite good.
Yeah.
Who is Rispa? Who is this beautiful lady Rispa?
Rispa, I do a lot of things. I am a filmmaker and I also do theater. Yeah. I do several roles in each of the things I mentioned.
Feel free to share with us. The stage is all yours. Tell us everything you do.
Okay. So in film, I am a production manager. I also do continuity and script supervision. Sometimes I'm a set runner. Sometimes I'll do costuming. Sometimes I do casting. Yeah.
These are roles most of us don't understand what exactly those roles are. Like, what is continuity? What is being a set runner? Help us understand each role and what it entails.
Okay. For a production manager, I have to make sure that things run smoothly on set.
A set runner.
A set runner, you are supposed to be very free, because when people need anything, you're supposed to be available to give it to them. If maybe someone forgot something, you have to be flexible enough to rush and get it and bring it back on time. Yeah. For continuity, I make production notes.
What are production notes?
When production is going on, I'm supposed to have a log sheet. It's a document that indicates what camera is being used, what shot it's taking, if the director approves of the shot. Yeah, and I'm also supposed to give it to the editor after a production day. It makes work a bit easier for the editor. Yeah.
What else? You also said you are a stage manager.
That's for theater. Stage manager manages the stage. Yeah, I have to make sure things on stage are as they should be. Yeah. Yeah, but that also changes if it's not a theatrical production. If it's an event or something. Yeah, I have to like make sure whoever is supposed to come on stage is ready and everything is fully available if needed.
Casting?
Casting was quite interesting. I was doing casting for a web show. So I had to look for random people. Some I didn't know them. Yeah, so I had to run like background checks on them to know what questions to ask them. Yeah, it was quite interesting. Yeah.
How are you able to balance all these roles? How are you able to balance all these roles?
It's not been easy, but depending on, sometimes you don't get to have work, like you don't get called for productions. So sometimes your friend will call you and tell you, I need help with this and this. So depending on the role that they want you to execute, you have to be there.
Have you ever been in a situation whereby production company A wants you to come in as a production manager, and production company B wants you to come in as a stage manager? And if yes, how are you able to balance the two? Or you forfeit one and go for one? How do you?
Sometimes, if they are happening at the same time, you kinda have to pick
the one that favors you more.
Yeah. Depending on the distance, sometimes the money.
Yes, obviously the money. Yes.
Yeah. So you pick what works best for you. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite role?
Yes, I love doing continuity.
Why?
Because it's a very important role, and people take it a bit lightly, but it's not, because you get to make the editor's work a bit easier. Because in most cases, people ignore that bit of production, and the editor, once they have the footage, they have to struggle to find which footage is the right one to use, because sometimes the director will not approve of some footages. Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, it's very important.
So continuity is your favorite role?
It is.
What in regards to the fact that you can do all this, what are some of the advantages for you?
Sometimes if you're running a small production and you don't have the money, like if it's my own production or just a friend's, and the budget is a bit tight, you're very convenient when you have...
You take up almost all the roles.
Yeah, it becomes very convenient. Yeah.
Disadvantages?
The disadvantages are sometimes you don't get to grasp, you don't get to
grab all the opportunities as they come.
Yeah.
If considering now, I am assuming that you playing all those roles, you are in you've taken up a lot of space, or rather you've been into so many spaces in the creative space, so you've seen a lot. You've basically seen a lot. So if you could change one thing in the creative industry, what would that be?
That's a lot of things. But one thing.
Can you give us a few?
Sometimes in the casting, as much as you want to give your friends roles, you also have to look for the right person. Yeah, and sometimes your friends will let you down. So you'll go to a production and you just can't speak out because utachujwa. Yeah, so I feel like people should look for a cast that's right for a particular production instead of just calling your friend. Yeah. Sometimes people don't keep time on set. Yeah. And I'm very strict about it.
About time?
Yes.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
And how did this COVID period affect you as a creative?
Well,
both positively and negatively.
Negatively, I didn't get as many jobs or opportunities because people were not shooting as much. Most people traveled back home, so coming together was also not that easy. Positively, the production you just viewed, we got to do a few things, yeah, because all those things that were in that production were shot separately. We didn't get to meet with the other person at any point, so at least we got to protect ourselves just in case of
anything.
Yeah.
Wow. You have a film called You.
Yes.
Tell us about You.
You. You was written by a friend, and we've been friends for a very long time. So when she wrote it and she sent it to me, she wanted me to read it first. So I read it and I knew it was mostly about friendship, purely friendship, generally friendship between anybody. So yeah, so I felt like she was speaking more of me, and we have a very small circle, so we have a very good relationship, all of us. Yeah, so You is basically about, it's a love letter to your loved ones, of course. Yeah.
Wow.
And she wanted me to be a part of the production. Yeah.
Who are your biggest supporters in your craft?
My mother, my sister, and my friends mostly. Yeah. Although it was very hard getting mom
to understand what you love.
Yeah.
Why?
She didn't want me to come to school to do film in the first place, but she still supported me because Aliona, there's no coming back. Yeah.
You have decided.
Yes.
What do you aim at achieving in the next few years? Maybe 2 or even 5.
Okay. I plan on doing my very own feature film. Yeah, soon. Not soon. Maybe in 5 years. Yeah.
Wow. Now that we're winding up, if anyone would like to find your content, follow you on socials, call you for jobs, where can we get you?
I love emails, so you can get me rispakirudu@gmail.com, and on social media, Instagram at Life as Bobo, and on YouTube where we post our content. It's called You Remind Me of Sunshine.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you can find Sunshine.
Yes.
You can find Sunshine at You Remind Me of Sunshine on YouTube and all her social media platforms. Thank you so much for joining us. Let's watch the trailer.